fraud. Deliberate trickery intended to gain an advantage. I'm not lying. Imply. Suggests as a logically necessary consequence. Deceptive. Causing one to believe what is not true. I'm very happy to be tested. If you ever dispatch a real American, and if you ever... so now I know the difference is I know what their intention is. I'm not actually I'm not being a nice guy anymore. Because I'm not going to let them enjoy their wild imagination. Because I'm going to talk back to them if I ever detect something. Because, last time when I actually met Kathy Eckhart, I just actually thought that those people are really seniors, and I really need to be courteous for whatever reason. In the first place, I never wanted to approach them. My mom was the one who encouraged me to help these Americans out, and I just thought that I need to be a little bit kind and generous person. I mean, that was really the thing. I should have actually immediately snapped it out of his mouth to say that cessation. I know, it's really easy. I don't mind. Array. Impressive display, an array of issues, many different thingy. Express, communicate. Distinguish, separate. 그냥 할게요. 근데 이제 말로 조금만 할게요. Consumer, the first one. 왜냐면 진짜로 반복이 되니까 잘 안 돼요. Comparison, related, a relation based on similarities and differences. 진짜 너무 compulsive 해가지고. The manufacturer of your vacuum cleaner like Dyson. Label. Trophy, gavel, camera, film camera. Kodak inside film camera. Extensive, broad in scope or content. 근데 이거를 만약에 종이로 어려운 거를 다 모아서 굉장히 헷갈리게 컨퓨징 하면은 한 5시간, 10시간까지도 풀 수 있는데 해봤으면 좋겠다. 왜냐면 얼마나 오랫동안 할 수 있는지 버티나. You know what, if you ever want me to be tested for endurance, I'm actually willing to have myself tested as long as there's a little tiny button allowing me to take my answer back or let me submit it when I made a final decision. Claim. Assertion of a right as to money or property. 괜찮아요. 이런 거는 generic. no. Applicable to an entire class of a group. 여기 1번이요. Applicable to an entire class of a group. It's not particular, it's specified, name-oriented. It applies to everything. 이런 뜻이잖아요. 그죠? No-name products. Or even just general. It's really general. It's really similar to general, to tell the truth. Expensive. Costly. Impulse. Whim. 이건 프레임인데 어떡해. 이거까지 어떻게 해요? Guarantee. Warranty. I'm not really so sure right now. It's just a really silly game. Warehouse. Storehouse for goods and merchandise.
Outlet.
이거 했으니까 다른 거 하고 계속 뭐든 다 해보자. 하나씩 뭐든 다 해보자. 그렇게 하지 말지. Unrelieved. That means, not feeling great. 다른 거에서 하자고. I got it. Yeah. In that way, we don't really need to find every single time if there is a trouble, right? Unrelieved. I don't want to repeat it, but I just had a better idea. Perspective. Potential. She's a prospective student. She's a potential student. That means she has a potential to be admitted to our school. Utter. Complete. 근데 방금 내가 말한 거 여기 나왔다. Prospective student. That's a very common way, right? And it's about future too. Future prospect, possibility, or also future vision. That's really the reason. The Columbia newspapers are prospectus or something like that. Prospectus가 뭔가 그거였는데. It's a vision. It means vision. A spectator. Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. Anyways. Eugenia Clement left the bench to lead a bit. Left the bench. That means how Eugenia Clement retired from her status as a player to lead the entire team as a coach. If you ever actually left the bench, that means your status somehow has been changed from a regular athlete to a leader of the team as a director, but not necessarily director, but this time as a coach. Because certain teams, a coach can be the director, but not necessarily always the case, right? Left the bench here means you're stepping down from the status of being a proactive athlete. You're no longer on the roster, right? You actually dropped out of the draft. You're no longer part of the NBA as a player. You're actually a coach. Like this. Left the bench. Of course I can. 아휴, 그거는 정말 궁금하신 분이 있으면 하루 종일 나랑 같이 앉아서 정말 난 그걸 너무 하고 싶어. 진짜 그거 되게 궁금하잖아. 나도 내가 다 안다고 할 수도 없고. 정말 그 미국 언어가 되고 한국어 된 사람 불러서 하루 종일 앉아서 그런 비유적 표현을 가져서 이게 뭐냐 아니면 같이 TV를 보다 이 사람 말하는 게 뭐냐 이렇게 설명해달라도 정말 할 생각이 있어요. 한 일주일 동안 할 생각이 있어요. 난 되게 답답해요. 나 영어에서 모르지 않는데 다른 언어나 모르겠고 영어만큼 진짜 자신 있는데 정말 방금 난 스펙테이터 찾으려고 한 거야. I thought that Columbia's newspaper was like prospect or something like that. I just actually accidentally randomly happened. Don't actually say that I somehow, had an anticipation. No. 그건 아니죠. Hesitant. Indecisive. Engaging. Very attractive. This is oh no, I actually got it once. No, what do you mean by that? I saw it from Jane Austen. In the Victorian era, when you actually say somebody's engaging, she means a very engaging, charming lady. 이런 거 빅토리아 시대 같은데 나온 거 아닌가요? 진짜 옛날 말 아니에요? 그런 데서 봤는데. Peculiarly 몰랐어요. Misappropriate. That means you actually abuse someone else's money. It's really similar to embezzlement. I didn't know that. And to become a literary man is to join the age of epigon. I can explain. I'm not guessing. Bibliophile means somebody who really loves a book. Phile. I can explain. Biblio is a books in Latin. Phile means, you're like aficionado. Really passionate person. Zealot. Magnate. Tycoon. Magnate. Robber baron. These are really moguls. Really enterprise of people like Amazon Bezos. Spelunker. Das ist Deutsch. Cave to explorer. Cave means, cavernous, a hole, like growth or cave. Spelunker. Somebody who just actually goes into a deep, dark cave. Normally, bats are likely. Dark bats. Bats. What it is like to be a bat, you know it, right? Bats are likely to be the denizens of the cave where no light, but very danke. Danke is the dampened humidity in a tank. Epigon means literally a copy plagiarist. Pathetic. Schmalzi. It's also German. Yiddish. 슈말치 키치거. Can I write it down everything? 이거 다 적어도 되나요? 너무 적고 싶다. 왜냐면 슈말치거든요. 이거 나 진짜 좋아. 모델링. 제발 모른다고 하지 마세요. 진짜 손이 좀 급해서 그래요. 거짓말 진짜 아니에요. 진짜 맹세한데 거짓말이에요. Mawkish, modeling, the melodramatic. 약간 좋은 뜻이에요. 약간 positively, gush, ebullient. 이거는 좋은 뜻이에요. 여기는 좋은 뜻이야. 좋은 뜻. gush, ebullient, or effervescent, like a bubbly, or lively, zingy, like singer, like zingy, like zesty. Jocular. 이건 좀 다르다. 이건 아예 좀 다르고. 얘는 완전 또 다르다. 좀 not same. 근데 얘는 아예 나쁜 애야. This is really kind of a bad connotation. Tear-jerking. 얘는 tear-jerking 반대는 뭐지? Feel-good movie. You know what? If something is over sentimental and melodramatic, it's tear-jerking, or would it be actually, making you feel sensitive about your inner feelings? Even if you never like to be in that condition, right? That's tear-jerking. But if that is really a positive way, it just brings out the best out of a human, then we say feel-good movie. Oh, she is just so lively. She's like the life of the party. Look at her. She's a charming and attractive, easy to talk to person. Oh, people's person. She's beloved by everyone. Ebullient, effervescent. These people use it very often. Gushy, literally outpouring of a feeling. A little bit different. Outpouring. And what do we have? Tear-jerking, melodramatic. Schmalzi, kitzig. Kisshinga. Kishi, right? Kitzening. Over sentimental. 얘는 dark고, 굉장히 dark. 얘는 좀 sad, depressed. Jolly. 뭐 이런 식으로 있어요. 계속 할게요. Praxis. Use your ideas about campaigning to run for office. Praxis in German means intern. You just actually finish your school and wanted to get a job, but before that, you probably take a gap year, which you could only be affordable by very privileged and talented children. I don't want to actually shame Malia Obama, but according to this nasty tabloid. But anyway, idempotent. Unchanged in value following multiplication by itself. Misogynism. It's easy. Misogyny is hating women. Genie is a woman. Miso means hatred. Nism, the new idea, change. 근데 이거는 진짜 쉬워요. 외울 필요가 없어요. 미소는 싫어는 hatred예요. 그러니까 misogyny. gynecologist. 여자 women's. women's birth and health. birth는 참고로 다른 거지만 women's urinary and internal and reproductive clinic health specialist. Obstetrics in a baby birth. 이것도 obstetrics. The OBGY. It's really easy. But you know, it's also a bit of utter, complete. I'm repeating it. Give me a new one. Engaging, attractive and delightful. 근데 진짜 억울해. 오늘 여기서 안 본 거 되게 많아 나왔는데. 나 솔직히 안 본 거 하고 싶은데. 안 해줘. 해시튼. Unable to act or decide quickly and firmly. That's so not true. This is really far from the truth. I've never heard the farthest thingy. Perspective. Future. It's not really future. The opposite of indiscreet. Whole. Let me think of indiscreet is it really the whole and the opposite? Discrete is distinctive, separate. Indiscreet is the entirety. The opposite. Concrete. I have to say concrete. I think it's not separate, non-separate one. Am I getting it right? Yeah, I'm not lying. Discrete. Separate. Indiscrete. Non-separate. No, I'm not lying. Oh. That means it's really the opposite of it. It's a concrete, very specified. What? What can we see? No, I don't want to. I don't actually buy that. You're not going to see the whole. Modular are different. modular 해도 되지만 concrete 해도 되잖아요. modular 뭐다 different 다르다는 뜻도 되지만 modular is different, but that's so fine. No, I'm not lying. I'm not actually less than other people. I'm not lying. But you can also have a different perspective too. And discrete means separate, and discrete means non-separate. That means you are not actually having a concrete understanding. You have a very gross understanding, the entirety in a general sense. A concrete and a specified one. That's also possible. But modular, different. I don't want to do it. 이건 안 해도 될 것 같아요. 왜냐면 concrete는 정말 specified 된 뜻도 있어요. 찾아보면 되죠. 내가 틀렸다고 생각 못하겠는데. specified라는 뜻이 있어. 그래서 concrete, particular. It's really fine. You don't really need to say modular. Modular means distinct, different. That's a possible. 물론 modular이 different이란 뜻도 되죠. 그건 안 돼. 원래 modality, variation이잖아요. 근데 concrete이 specified라는 뜻이 될 수도 있잖아. specified. Not grove wholeness. 그렇게 생각할 수도 있잖아. I'm not lying. I will submit this one. My approach was like this. Wholeness. The entirety. Undivided. That's the only reason I have to be specific. Individual. 그래서 그런 건데요. And Noah says I'm not really bad. Not at all. I don't really agree with it. No, I'm not a Cindy. I'm actually really great with nuance. I don't really get repeating. Fish. Fluffy. Down as a soft. Renowned. Non. Tearful. Whipping. Full-fledged, fully developed. Utterly. Completely. 근데 제가 잘났다고 생각하죠. 그런 건 아닌데 그냥 거짓말은 사기꾼이 아니다. 이것만 만족. Sneaky. Devious. What I want to prove is I'm not a con man. I'm not faking anything. But I don't want to actually be someone who's been technically superior to other people. No, I don't want to. I have a zero interest in it. That means that does not reflect my welfare. That I'm not disposed to flash whatever shitty achievement or feat somehow I managed to obtain thanks to Frederick's support and my mother's tolerance. No. But I just know it. Just like the rest of average people living in the United States. That's it. I'm not faking it. I'm not pretending to be a possessor of this feeling. That's not really the thing. The whole purpose is reduced into the verification of the status that I believe I possess to have myself acquitted of charges of a fraud. I don't want to be a con artist anymore. Scamster. Sedate. Dignified and somber in manner or character. Naive. Very unenlightened person. Enthusiastic. Skittish. High-strung. 계속 할게요. 하루 종일 해도 돼요? 아니면 내일 아침 결과 나올 때까지 화장실 좀. 나는 세상에 있는 애젝티브 다 갖다 줬으면 좋겠다 진짜로. 나 아는 거 되게 생각보다 있는데 이렇게 너무 많지는 않아도 생각보다 있는데 아무도 안 밀어줬어. 그리고 오래 가지 않는데 난 모르는 거 인정하는데 패킬레인 솔직히 지금 당장이 기억이 안 나네. 그럼 어때? 모를 수도 있죠. 무식하지만 모르는 건 모르는 거지. severely. And recently she gains a little bit of weight, and that happened to do with her snoring. I'm worried about her health. Maybe she suffers from migraine after the heavy snoring. It's like a thunder. Stentorious, sluggish, not active, brisk. Brisk means, acting quickly, ready with a readiness in shape. Draggy, groggy, speechless. Temporarily incapable of speaking. 계속 할게요. 좀 말 좀 할게요. 왜냐면은 너무 자꾸 눌러가지고. Excuse me, please forgive me for speaking this much. I don't want to be a lousy, talkative, windpipe back. But I can't handle it. My fingers are so dying to jump on, to swoop down to the target. I'm really crazy. I can't control it. I really can't. Frenetic. Agitated. Really agitated. Anodyne means benign. Polyglot means someone who speaks multiple languages. Gullible. Very, very innocent. Easy to believe others' opinion. Brooding, thoughtful, but in a negative sense. You've been actually dwelling on a very negative idea for years. So you even actually suffer from sleep disorder. You've been losing sleep, tossing and turning and tossing. Cheeky, offensively bold. You have a tongue in your cheek. Cheeky. Can I just try? Amiable. Genial. That means you're friendly. You're God. Tongue in cheek. That means you're cheeky, bold. Tongue in cheek can be both of them. You're playful, or you can also be some bold, audacious, brazy person. Can I just prove myself? 제발요. Please try me with the new adjectives. Please let me cover as many adjectives as possible tonight. That's my wish. Timid. Unassertive. You're not actually having your own opinion. You just want to step back. You just want to remain reserved. Because you are a very shy person. 이렇게 하면 될 것을. Mighty. Forceful. Using a force. And sometimes it could be powerful and compelling. 진짜 미안해요. I'm really sorry. I had to be such a lousy, noisy talker who's been talking forever and more. But in this way, I can truly minimize a possible chasm caused by my OCD type of disastrous compulsion to do something immediately. Staggering, impressive. Sketch, incomplete. You only give a sketch description, not thorough. You don't want to take those. Astounding. Here. Bewildering. Because of the astonishment, you've been scratching your head. What was that again? Are you sure about that? What did you just say? Come again? Bewildering. Because of astonishment, you're actually nonplussed. What? Did you just say that? 이런 느낌이에요. Exhilarating. Invigorating. Refreshing. 계속 하니까 너무 많이 하니까 이게 사이드 이펙이 있더라고. 너무 많이 아니 까먹는 거 있는 거는 맞는데 기본적으로 한 4-5번 맞으면은 I really honestly make a concession to my oblivious forgetfulness is the truth because I'm not a genius who would observe everything. I don't really have anal retentive memory capacity, no. But can you at least give a certain pass if I ever had to prove myself very consistently? Because sometimes I really want to actually try new terrain that type of desire to, chart new terrain eventually makes me very compulsive again. Interesting, very alluring, charming. Proposals stupid, stale, rotten, contingent, fortuitous, or depending upon something because it's really not absolute. Unaware. Contingent is really not reliable because it depends on certain unforeseeable variables. So it could be sometimes depending upon a context or varying from context to context. It could truly denote a sense of fortuitous luck, right? Tearful. Child whose dog has died. Carnivorous. Lion. Lion is carnivorous. Eating meat. Cannibalism. Eating the same species. Herbivore. Omnivore. Clown. Fructivore. How many of them do you... I don't really know it that well. Herbivore. Cannibalism. Fructivore. Eating fruit. Fructivore or whatever. And omnivore. Eating everything. Like this. Considerate. Unselfish. You've been thinking of other people. You're not selfish. You're putting enough thought. Fluffy. Soft. Appetizing. Delicious. Luscious. 이렇게 해야겠다. 너무너무 반복 많이 해가지고 도저히 저게 안 돼. Ardently or excessively desirous, full of desire, very enthusiastic. Flustered, also perplexed. 그렇지, thrown into a state of agitated confusion. Fluster 역시 abashed confusion이에요. 우리가 저거를 많이 알지. 이거는 내가 조금 많이 하는데. 헷갈린다. Confusion. Emotional. 아니요. Being confused 조금 많이 알아요. 한국어를 훨씬 많이 알아. Discombobulated. Disturbed. 조금 다르지만 이거는 좀 달라요. Perturbed. 얘는 다르네요 좀. 얘는 달라. 그렇지만 nonplussed. Baffled. Flummoxed. 그다음에 lummoxed. 그다음에 abashed. 약간 bewildered. Perplexed. Confounded. Confused. Uncertain. 이거는 undecided. 이거는 undecided. Excuse me. Bless you. skittish, very excitable, high charged, high strung, high octane이라는 뜻인데. 진짜 오래된. It means high octane. 후루잉크 진짜 안 들렸는데 억울해. High octane. That means the voltage itself is high. 진짜 왜 그래? 그건 내가 밑에 가려고 하는데 모르고 리트럼이 올라가지고 그런 거. That's high straw. I mean, I'm not lying. I can actually say that. Deceive. Fool. Milk. Causen. Or connive. Cheat. Garden path. Bring come down to the garden path. Take you to. Bring or come down. Hoodwink, I personally use it very often. I use this very often. I use this. When I use it, I know it a lot before. I know what that means. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. Bamboozle. Pinnacle. Or con someone. Or a fraud someone. T-fraud. Exactly the same thing. Make someone a fool. Conceited. Vain. But can I blow my nose? Please give me a few seconds. Oh, I feel so bad. Why would she do that? I mean, the last time when she actually came on, she actually appeared on TV, she said she really liked pink soup. Oh, I wish it could be so, it's so sad. I saw her for the one time. I feel really bad. Why would she do that? But it's a sad. I have nothing but a bad feeling for her. I really wish all of us. Or she should rest in peace. For sure. Oh, this is so sad. Have you thought about it? Frenetic. Frantic. Hectic. Crazy. Naive. Uninformed. Or stupid. Reprobate. Deceitful. Insensate. Erased. Periodic. Cyclic. No one likes to be called naive. Dim-witted. Lacking intelligence or cleverness. Slow in the uptake. Dim-witted. Slow on the uptake is lacking intelligence or clever. Amenable. Readily reacting to suggestions and influences. 계속할게요.
cheeky, brash. Neurotic is cranky, iridescent color, different colors, enamored, infatuated. 이거 여기다 pinpoint 하나 있으면 좋겠다. Can I just use a different phone? 이거를 해서 이렇게 해서 저기 좀 귀찮은데. 아니면은 종이를 하나 봐. You should get a paper. 여기다가 보여줄게요, 배터리. 거짓말 아니에요. 그냥 하나만 더 줘. Oh shoot, I'm so sorry. But I just never want to hurt you. 여기 보면 iridescent 하면은 variegated. 이렇게 안 되지. 그거 아니에요. Variegated means multicolor, shiny. 그다음에 neurotic, cantankerous, crotchety, enamored, infatuated. 이거 줘볼게. 하지 말까? 그래. 이게 내 건데. Amiable, cordial, feeble, faint. You know how you feel? I don't know. Utterly? Absolutely. Erroneous. Coming up with a wrong interpretation of a statement. Astounding. Astonishing. Timid. Timorous. Lacking conviction or boldness or courage. Chicken liver. Chicken down. Fish. It's very suspicious. Something's fishy going on here. Mighty. An army that defeats all its enemies. Brooding. Meditative. Thought. Prone to thinking. Introspective. Introspective. Brooding. Sluggish. Lethargy. 이거 조금만 더 할게요. 들어? Mindless. Witless. Soulless. Very stupid. Mindless. Christmas. Renowned means celebrated. Christmas is you. Yeah. 이거는 한꺼번에 할게요. Snowflakes 알아요. Was diese kleine verschiedene Teil, das ist Schneeflug. Ja. These are a few of my favorite snowflakes on my nose. 눈 조그만한 거 떨어지는 거 이제. 조그만 조각 같은 데 있는 눈 있잖아요. Snowflakes. 콘플레이크를 스노우로 바꿔봐. 하얗게 칠해봐. 콘플레이크스. 플레이스가 원래 그런 조각이에요. You know, when your building is chipped off, there are plastic flakes. My gosh, you know, my old building had a flakes chipping off. Underneath, 그러니까 안 한 거 해달라고요. 형용사 많잖아. Skilled edition요. 많잖아요. 아, 제발. Crescent. Inactive. Fossum. Fawning servant. Fossum means literally sycophant. Sartorial. Looking at their clothing. Sartorial tailor. There was a very famous sartorial guidebook, whatever. Voracious, raveny. Very avid, raveny.